Imagine you throw a birthday party for your best friend. You hire a DJ, order the cake, invite everyone, but then out of nowhere the cake explodes and the DJ starts playing Nickelback. That's basically what Bethesda did to Fallout 4 on its 10th anniversary. What should have been a celebration of one of their biggest games turned into one of the messiest and most embarrassing launches in recent gaming history. All this on top of a fanbase that was already on thin ice with Bethesda after last year's disaster with the new gen update. So today I'm going to be breaking down exactly what happened, why it happened, and what it says about where Bethesda is headed. Let's get into it. Fallout 4 launched on November 11, 2015, and love it or hate it, people really have strong opinions about it. It was a massive deal. It sold millions of copies, dominating gaming culture for months, and introduced a whole new generation to the post-apocalyptic wasteland of the Commonwealth. Over the years, it's had its ups and downs in terms of reputation. But with the Fallout TV show launching in 2024 and bringing a massive wave of new players back to the franchise, Fallout 4 had a genuine second wind. Player counts had shot back up and new fans were discovering it for the first time. So when Bethesda announced they were doing something special for the 10th anniversary, people were cautiously optimistic. What were they going to do? The answer was, well, a new update and new Creation Club content. On paper, this was not bad at all. In execution, oh boy. Now, back in October 2025, Bethesda announced the Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition. The update will make a few other tweaks and most importantly, add creations to Fallout 4. For people who don't know, Creations is basically Bethesda's official mod storefront. It lets modders create content that can be downloaded on consoles and PC. Some of the content costs money, but a lot of it is usually free. The idea is that console players who can't use the full PC mod ecosystem get access to a curated library of mods and add-ons. It's been live in Skyrim for years, so Bethesda had plenty of experience running it. Now, here's where most of the confusion starts, before a single bug even shows up. Bethesda created 3 separate versions of Fallout 4 that you can buy. The base game, a Game of the Year edition, and now the Anniversary edition. But it gets even messier. You don't actually need to buy the Anniversary edition to access the new Anniversary update. That's free for all players. And then there's an Anniversary edition upgrade for people who already own the game and its DLC, which costs $40. But you can also buy a standalone $20 Creations bundle separately, which requires you to own the base game in the first place. So you've got the base game, the Game of the Year, the Anniversary edition upgrade, and the Creations bundle. 5 different purchasing options for one 10-year-old game. Bethesda had somehow made buying a decade-old game a complicated mess that required research and a full chart to really understand. Now fast forward to November 11, 2025 and the update goes live. Within hours, Reddit is on fire. Players begin sharing screenshots of the Creations menu in Fallout 4, just spitting out error messages, failing to load anything. The very feature that was the centerpiece of this whole anniversary celebration completely broken at launch. And it wasn't just an inconvenience. There was an $8 Pip-Boy skin with a completely broken preview window, meaning players literally could not see what the skin looked like before buying it. Bethesda was asking people to spend real money on content they couldn't even preview. Imagine going to a store where all the products are in sealed black boxes. That's what this was. If you're enjoying the video so far, consider subscribing and trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of May, so I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Bye. Players reported that DLC they had already owed was suddenly no longer being recognized as purchased. Content players had paid for years ago just disappeared from their libraries. Bethesda community manager Jessica Clark confirmed that they had discovered the cause and a fix was underway, but the damage was already done. And on top of all of this, there were widespread crashes. The update earned Fallout 4 a flood of negative reviews almost immediately, tanking its recent review score on Steam. The community was furious, and rightfully so. Now, this wasn't the first time Bethesda has done this to Fallout. Just the year before, in 2024, Bethesda had already broken Fallout 4 with a quote-unquote next-gen update. That update was supposed to bring performance improvements for PS5 and Xbox Series X. Instead, it broke thousands of mods overnight. Players who had carefully built modded playthroughs, sometimes hundreds of hours of work, found their games completely destroyed. The backlash was enormous, and Bethesda promised to do better. They acknowledged the problems, and then a year later, they did almost exactly the same thing again. I mean, it's one thing to make mistakes, and it's another to repeat them all over again. And this was all happening against the backdrop of broader frustration with Bethesda as a studio. Starfield had launched in 2023 to deeply mixed reviews. It wasn't the disaster some people said it was. Personally, I enjoyed the game quite a bit, but it wasn't the game changer fans had hoped for either. The goodwill that Bethesda built over decades with Morrowind, Skyrim, and Fallout 3 New Vegas had slowly been eroding, and launches like this one didn't help matters. Fans had already been burned. They were already skeptical, and instead of rebuilding trust, all the Anniversary Edition did was hand critics more ammunition. But to be fair, Bethesda didn't go silent. They actually did respond relatively quick actually. They released a statement saying they were actively investigating the issues and pushed out faster load times for the creations menu as an immediate fix. They also laid out a hotfix targeting crashes on Xbox One and PlayStation 4 and the issue causing DLC to become uninstalled on PlayStation, followed by 2 more patches, one in late November and another one in the first half of December. That's a lot of patches needed for a celebration update. And by late November, the situation had stabilized somewhat, but the first impression was already burned into the community's memory. So what does this actually even mean? It means Bethesda has a quality control problem, specifically with Fallout 4 updates. Twice now in 2 years, they've pushed back major updates to this game that have broken it in significant ways. It doesn't seem like bad luck, it looks more like a pattern, and it raises a really serious question. Why keep updating a game if every update makes things fucking worse? It also highlights a broader issue with the Creation Club model. Charging players for content on a game they already bought and then delivering it in a broken state where they can't even preview what they're purchasing is a serious issue. Microtransactions in live service games are already a sore subject in gaming. Doing it badly on a 10-year-old single-player game is the worst possible version of that conversation. Fallout 4 definitely deserved better, and it's a game that sold tens of millions of copies, survived a decade of gaming, and just experienced a massive revival thanks to the TV show. The fanbase was ready to celebrate, and Bethesda handed them a broken mess instead. The good news though is that the game itself is still great. The patches have mostly resolved the worst issues, and the modding community, as always, will probably fix whatever Bethesda couldn't. But at some point, Bethesda needs to look in the mirror. The trust that took decades to build is not infinite, and right now they're spending it faster than they're earning it back. Let me know in the comments, are you still riding with Bethesda or have they finally lost you? And if you want more gaming breakdowns like this one, subscribe and hit the bell. New video every week, and I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ta.